Hey friends, it's Michael Kostroff. Okay, Thanksgiving is coming up this week. I think I've probably made a similar video almost every Thanksgiving, and that's fine because it's a message that's worth repeating. Um, Thanksgiving, if you're getting together with your family, is fraught with opportunities to get completely destroyed emotionally in terms of how you feel about your acting career. I'm here to help. Um, it really requires us to switch modes in a way. A lot of us are in the habit of demonstrating our legitimacy as actors, which I'm not sure that we need to do. That's a whole other video. But you have a meeting with an agent, and they'll say, "What have you been up to?" And you're like, "Oh, well, I have been having some great auditions, and I know this director, and there's a possible uh, opportunity with him, et cetera, et cetera. Had a workshop with so and so." Or you meet a casting director. What have you been up to? Oh, I did this terrific workshop, and this great play, and so on forth and so on. And we're used to sort of having conversations that demonstrate our legitimacy. Uh, but you're dealing with muggles now, people who are not in our business and don't understand the value of some of these things, and nevertheless want to be supportive and helpful, um, but are probably not going to be impressed by any of these things, and you don't need to impress them. So we're going to switch modes now, and um, several techniques I'm going to suggest to you. One is keep your answers vague. It's what I call a five. Everything's a five. How's the career going? Oh, it's going all right, I guess. Nothing really to report. Well, have you made anything? Have you been on anything? No, not lately. Not lately. Fingers crossed. Everything's a five. Everything's a five. Just so. Yeah, yeah. It's up for a couple things. Nothing came through. Even if something did, because if you say, I did a play. Oh, yeah, on Broadway. Oh no. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, were you the lead? Oh, no, I just had a small part, but at a very prestigious theater. Oh, okay. All right. Well, you hang in there. It's uh, yeah, you could say, well, I did a film. When's it coming out? Well, it's just an independent film. I said, I don't know. So none of this stuff is gonna. Don't sell. Don't sell. You don't have anything to sell. It's all just be vague about it. Just be vague. Yeah, you know how it is. Just hope for the best. Um, Second thing, um, humility. You're not there to make points. So uh, if they say, well, your sister went into real estate and she's doing great, you don't have to defend your choice. Say, yeah, she is. We're so proud of her. She was always the smart one. We want to be very, very English and or Southern about this, which is to say, oh, well, yeah, or so and so, they have a great acting career. It's like, oh, yes, they're very talented. I'm not at that level. Stay humble, stay humble, stay humble. You'll avoid a lot of what am I trying to say? Gunfire, crossfire. Um, Next, agreeable. They're going to have some stupid advice. Somebody once said to me, "Would you ever sign up to be on SNL?" And I said, "Oh, yes, I definitely would." Somebody else said, "You should do commercials. You would make a mint." I'm like, "That is a good idea. Great idea." Don't have to explain it. Don't have to explain it. They're going to say something accidentally cutting. Like, you should probably take more acting classes. Like that. Yeah. Yeah, I should. I should. Just agree. You don't have to win the conversation. You don't have to explain to them how show business works. You know, uh, it, it- you know, and if they say, you've been at this a while, you're gonna. I mean, you can't live like this forever. I know. I know. I've been really giving that a lot of thought. Just agree. Just agree. It makes for a much easier conversation. much easier conversation. You know, um, if they say, very few people make it as actors, I know, I know. Yeah, I've been thinking about looking into something else. Just make it easy. Just make it easy. So far we're talking about vague answers. Uh, everything's a 5 in your career right now. Just yeah, trying my best. They're right about everything, so that you don't argue. You don't have to combat them. We don't have to get an accurate picture of what show business is like. Um, and they're right no matter what, and humble. If they, and finally, as soon as possible, pivot. You know, oh yeah, no, that's a very good idea. I should do commercials. Oh, by the way, I hear your garden is thriving, Aunt Matilda. My mom said that you. Now, what's your secret on that? I've always wanted to be a gardener. I've never been any good at it. Whatever, whatever. Pivot as quickly as possible. And what have you been up to? Specific questions. Get them off your career if you can. You know. Um, um, You know, we want so much to let people know that we're successful. This is not the time. Trust me, it's a quagmire. Even if you've just done something, you know, if you're on Broadway, they're like, "Great. So what's next?" I don't know. I don't know. I was touring with Les Mis, and I was doing this event like at a school, and the press was there. It was a big deal. And at the end, this little kid came over and asked for my autograph, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, sure." And he said, "In case you ever make it." I was like, "I'm in Les Mis, for God's sakes." So, uh, and if you're trapped, um, I there was something I sometimes had to do when I was teaching my Audition Psych 101 class. And I know many of you took this Audition Psych 101 class. I taught it for several decades. I still do sometimes. Um, I've taught it to literally thousands of actors. And almost every time there was one or two people who wanted to take over. I mean, it was a 4-hour class. I had a lot to say, so I couldn't indulge people wanting to take it off in a different direction. And I liked a lot of interaction, but sometimes there were people who wanted to tell long stories about their own auditions or about their own careers. And I had to find diplomatic ways of getting out of those conversations. Um, and it's what I call ooh ooh, So they'd be telling the story, and right in the middle, I would go, oh, wait a minute, no, this is a very good point, and I want to cut back to that in a second. What this gentleman is saying, this leads to a very important point, and I would continue on with the class, so acknowledging them, you know, uh, I would say, "Oh, no, hang on, no, this is. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to just pick up on that. This is a very good technique. Sometimes you just have to slice right through it, you know, uh, if it's just going very very badly. Um, I you sometimes have to do that. And when I say badly, what I mean is, what we're trying to avoid is a Thanksgiving where you just get your soul crushed by people telling you what a failure you are. Um, Listen, maybe that's not your experience with your family. You might have a family that gets show business, which is great. Um, or a family of people who are like, just, they have come to understand it from your perspective, which is all great, all great, all great. But most of us don't have that. Most of us have people who want to advise us on our careers as actors, and who uh, want to evaluate our success, and that's never going to go well. It's never going to be enough. Um, I hope this is helpful. Here's the thing: you do not have to win the conversation. Please remember that. You don't have to win. They're right. They're right. You don't have to win the conversation. They just want to know how you're doing. That's all. They want to feel good about what's going on with you, and that's it. So it's all just vague 5. It's everything's a 5, and they're right, and you will survive Thanksgiving. And yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know how that goes, and I'll have more for you next week after we've all gotten through that. All right, bye, friends.